Hola, boys. The prodigal son, Ansu Fati, despite years of chaos and confusion and injuries and bad moments, he's turning up again. Guys, I've talked too much negatively. Not negatively, but I've reflected on poor performances of Ansu too many times in the past. I think I've made 2 or 3 videos about him on the main channel in not the best light, right? Talking about how it's not going well. Realistically, because a lot of people are interested in Ansu Fati, they did well at the time, and I wanted to talk about him. But there were at times when he wasn't playing well, and so I think it's only fair to give him plenty of attention when he is playing well, which is what's happening right now. And we're going to talk about just how good it is today. All right, so what we can do, we're seeing him getting glazed a little bit on Twitter. 5 games, 6 goals in all competitions for Monaco, all the while not playing that many minutes either. It's really, really impressive, right? We can go over to his stats and talk a little bit more about it, right? Where we see just how good he was. He's only 22. He's about to turn 23 in, I think, about 2 or 3 weeks. But if we go here, we could see his stats. And let me just move this over so you guys can see what years they were. But, right, this is this season right down here, and this was highlighted, but I'll get into that in a second. In 3 matches played in the league, he scored 5 goals in 161 minutes. That is more goals than he has scored since 2022-23 with Xavi. And I would like to point out that if I remember correctly, which I almost certainly do, he scored most of those goals, or not most of them, but 2 or 3 of those goals in the last 2 matches of the season, or last 3 matches of the season, where the league was already won, where it didn't really matter what he did or how well he performed. And I do vividly remember that season, Xavi didn't use him very much. He wasn't that important. It was very much a kind of side character where, or a bench player, or maybe a 12th man who wasn't perfect. The fans were disappointed or confused with what his future was, and he was left in a weird gray area. Despite scoring 7 goals, but he played 36 matches, 1,300 minutes played, his most ever in a season, I'd like to point out. And then he ended up going on loan next season, right? He just wasn't in the plans for Xavi. It just didn't work out. And then obviously he went over to Brighton, and it was a disaster. Now, this is really, really weird because I think there was a lot of hope, right? That was Roberto De Zerbi's Brighton, who had just come off a very exciting year, had a lot of potential, had a lot of youngsters in a lot of good areas, and seeing Ansu go over there, I think was not only promising for a lot of Barcelona players, Barcelona fans hoping that he would turn it around, hoping that he would have a good future, and hoping that he could come back to Barcelona being great again. But to put him in front of a lot of fans that don't really watch La Liga, I've seen in the past year just how many English fans or English pundits, Paul Scholes, Gary Lineker is different, but Paul Scholes, especially Gary Neville, don't watch Spanish football at all. It's important to get Spanish players and good Spanish players, I think, in front of that audience, and then bring English players to La Liga. Part of the reason I like Jude Bellingham being over there, Kylian Mbappe as well, having those big name guys brings a lot of attention to him. But Ansu would go and get attention, be playing against big teams for what was supposed to be a real promising player. And one video stands out to me, I'll pull this up in a second, more or so than anything else here, where Ansu is, God, like there was so much potential at Brighton. The first couple games were really, really promising. And then it just kind of teetered out. It's really, really confusing what happened exactly. But if you go to this channel, DKM Football, who I'm not sure if it's AI slop. There's a lot of AI slop in football. I think it's a normal channel, but it's those very clickbaity thumbnails and stuff. Where, here, let me pull this up for you guys. Here you go. This video was made right here. And what I'll do is I'll move this all over for you. Right there. You see that? Ansu Fati is quietly saving his career at Brighton. 340,000 views. There's always been a lot of excitement, a lot of interest in Ansu. And there was initially a lot of hope for him at Brighton. It just didn't pan out, bro. He really never got a chance. He never got any opportunity here. He got opportunities. Just when he played, he wasn't good. He wasn't good at all. He played 19 matches, only started 3 for De Zerbi, 500 minutes in total despite being there for the basically entire season. And then it was like all hope was lost. He spent all of last season at Barcelona and played 6 matches in the league, not scoring a single goal, and just being, you know what I mean? Just not being what we wanted, right? Or what we needed him to be. And it would have been nice to have that depth. It would have been nice to have him prove himself. But this season's just so unbelievably different. And yes, this is in Monaco. But I also think, like I said, when he was in Brighton, there was attention there, right? The Premier League is a huge market. It's a big deal. He's playing against the most famous players in football. He's up against, in this Brighton squad, some of the most talented players in the Premier League, or the ones with the most potential, and it's hard to get space, right? We saw Joao Pedro, who just signed for Chelsea this summer, has been really solid so far. We saw him get a lot of attention and kind of just get that spot, that like center forward, number 10 spot over Ansu. Played there a lot more. Eric Ferguson was just, still growing into his position as striker. And so it was a lot to compete against at Monaco. It's just not the same squad, not the same depth there, and obviously not the same quality of a league. That has to be pointed out. However, goals are goals. And you can't ignore finishing ability, right? That's the thing that stood out the most to me when he was really flying, when he was doing his thing and impressing everybody. Ansu Fati finished his chances like I've never seen before. It was unbelievable. In a time where the team sucked, where it was just kick the ball to Messi, surround the box, nobody made some ballsy passes, nobody made a good run. It was a mess. You needed Messi to do anything. In that time, Griezmann, it wasn't great. Young 17-year-old Ansu Fati took the ball and just did something stupid, made a weird run, took a guy on, and scored. And right now, man, I don't know if I haven't watched all the games or anything, but he's finishing his chances really well here. We see, if you look right here, 3.4 XG. He scored 5 goals on 3.4 XG, overperforming his XG for the first time since 2021-22. That's insane, right? That's right after, I think that's when he came back, or that's right during the second surgery. I'm not exactly sure what time period that is, but that's huge, right? That's his first time in a really long time, right? When his first season at Barcelona, almost doubled his XG. Fantastic. Second season, same thing. Third season, same thing. And then he came back, played for Xavi, and underperformed by a pretty, not an insignificant amount, but that's a lot. And these are no pens here. This is strictly chances created, normal chances, normal run of play chances. And this isn't like the best metric to go off of, but it gives you a general idea of how well he was performing. And now, man, I don't know. I'm elated to see him doing this, and he's doing it in all competitions, right? He scored in the Champions League as well for Monaco. He's played 90 minutes in total for them, scored a goal on 0.4 XG. It's just so exciting to see. Boys, keep your eyes on him. If you can watch League One, I would definitely check it out. I'm excited to watch him play, maybe in the Champions League, maybe Liga, just see how it plays out. I know Monaco's interesting this season. It's just interesting to see where they end up in this league with the squad they have, right? We know they have Paul Pogba. I don't know if he's played at all. I think he has played a few minutes here. He's not showing up over here, but let's see. Ansu Fati is he's the leading scorer for Monaco by 3 goals. I'll pull this up for you guys as well, as you can see. That's really good. 3 goals for Ansu. Next is Akliouche, Minamino as well. This is huge. And Fati has only played in 3. This is wrong. This is only in League One. Let's see all competitions. Still the highest scorer, 6 goals. Eric Dyer is next. So that tells you the state they're in. So I would expect Ansu to get a lot more minutes. And he's still, guys, we got to keep in mind, he's still a little kid, bro. He's about to turn 23 in 2 weeks. This guy has so much more left in him. And now I want to look up Ansu. Here, let me, Ansu Fati, sign-on clause or whatever it is, on clause Monaco. That's definitely not what it's called, but they have an option to buy him for 14 million. Here, you guys can't really see this that well. They have an option to buy him for 14 million or send him back. Ansu is happy, and honestly, with dude, if he throws in 25, 20 goals for Monaco, that 14 million is for a 23-year-old. Yeah, he's been injured, but showing that off at Monaco, no, not a small team, like not a minor team. If he shows a little bit in the Champions League and everything, that's huge, bro. And I'm pumped. I am pumped to see what happens. Now, they've included a buyback clause. So whatever that means, I don't really know. I don't know the exact number. They're always never right? These estimates, these buyback clause numbers, you hear it, like salary numbers in Spain too. You hear it talked about all the time, and then it changes to this or that. It's awesome. I'm just so happy to see this, guys. Let me know if you guys have been watching him, what you're excited about. I'm seeing here a 20% sell-on clause, or 28 million buyback clause. This also says 11 million euro buyback clause. So there's a lot of different numbers out there. I think 28 million, see him play for Monaco another season or two, see him score another 25. Bro, the door's not closed, especially not for someone with the history at Barcelona that Ansu Fati has, with the fans supporting him in the way I think they would quickly turn around and back Fati. I'm pumped to see it. I think you guys should be as well. Definitely watch Monaco if you can. And I'm excited to see what happens, boys. We got El Clasico in 2 weeks. That's something to keep in mind. And football is back this weekend. So we got some stuff to look forward to, especially, though, keeping an eye on Ansu Fati. I just wanted to talk a little bit about that, give some good attention to a guy who's gotten a lot of flack, some from me as well. It's nice to see. And boys, it was nice talking to you today. I'll see you guys all probably this weekend for the postgame. Hopefully we pull it together, pull it back. Even with these injuries, Rafinha might be back. Firmin's going to be back. It's good to see. I'll see you guys then. Peace.